directed to what we call a tournament lobby. The tournament lobby is the live pairing, the live page where all of the action will take place. So all of your players will need to come to the tournament lobby, and this is the only page that they need to know about for the duration of the tournament. From the tournament lobby, they will see a green button which says open the Zoom room, and this will be where they can connect to the Zoom room for communication with the arbiter and for having their cameras and screen sharing during the competition. Okay, so if you need to just give one link to your players, you give them just one link to the tournament website, and from the tournament website, it's the tournament lobby, you can access the Zoom room. This will show all of the teams, and it will show all of the individual players as well. Now, some people we can see already joined the website. I can see with the green icon, the green dot gives the arbiters full visibility over every player and if each player is connected or disconnected. So what your players should be, if they need to do some practice, what they should be doing the first time is just coming to this page and making sure that they see the tournament lobby page. Now, most of the teams, when they registered the players, will have registered the players and given an email address that when the player comes, they sign in with that email address. And when they're signed in with the email address, it's all connected. So if the players are connected with an email address, then they will, I'll just show you as a player. If they're connected with an email address, they will see a message that looks like this. Circle at the top, it says, the event is starting soon. Check the box to let us know that you're here. And the players can tick this box. And this is like a attendance. It's like a roll call. So all of the players, when they come tomorrow, before we start, we ask that all players tick this box. And then we will get a green check mark next to every player. And we know that the players are all signed in, and we know that they are capable of playing the games. If you can tick the box, you can play the game. So we ask that all players, if they want to practice, they can come to the page, they can tick the box. If they can tick the box, everything on the day is going to be fine.
David, just here to explain, because
yes.
Most of the players, they don't have their email, their personal email address in the players list. So
I think most. It looked to me like a lot of the players, when their team captains registered them, also added the email address. I'm just going to show you now. If the email address was not registered, or if
yes,
the player comes...
The first I think we should tell to captains is that first that if they didn't put the emails of the players when in their cards, they can add it. I mean, so
if they didn't put any emails, the easiest way is to send us an email to help@tornello.com. and send us an email with the name of the player and their email address, and we can connect the account for them. It's the quickest way. All right, just send us an email, help@tornello.com, tell us the name of the player and the email address. If you had somebody forget and they couldn't do it, and then we can connect those players together.
Yes, and here I will say practically, David, because there is no hundreds of players and it's easy for us and for you. If any captain has a doubt that the player is not, didn't connect or didn't give his email, it's better to send you anyway
sure.
to Tornello, so to check that they can connect with their email.
Absolutely. Yeah, we're happy to do that. We're happy to do that. If the players can come to the site, if they go to the URL, if they go to the web page and they sign in and they see this message and they can tick the box, that means everything is perfect. It's okay. If they if when they registered, the players, if the captains registered with a different email address from the one that the player uses to sign in, maybe the captains registered their work email address, but the player signs in using a personal email address. It's okay, it's not a problem. The players, when they come, they will see this message. It will say the tournament lobby still, but now it will tell them you're spectating this event, and it asks them, do you want to join the event or to enter a token? Now, if their name is in the list, if they're already registered, we need to give them a token to connect their account. And when we give them it's like a one-time PIN, four-digit password. We can give that password even on the day of the tournament if we need to. The player can type in the four-digit PIN, and then they'll be connected. So let me just show you this as an arbiter. Okay. So as the arbiter for an event, I can say make a token 6199. The player will take the token. When they type the token in, it reloads the page and says, aha, now Dimitri, you're here. And now you can tick the box, you can play. So if the player comes to the site and they see enter token, your spectator, when they're signed in, then this means that the email address they're using, it's different from the one you gave us. It's okay, we can fix it. You can either email us help@tornello.com, or even if on the day tomorrow you come, we can make a token, we can make the connection on the day.
Yes, because we will be also in Zoom meeting, so we can receive even there the information, you and the arbiters, and make the connection.
Yes, of course, we want everybody to be connected before the event if we can. It's much better, it's much more smooth at the start, but please don't worry. Any connection problems, we'll resolve these connection problems. We'll make sure that all players are connected, they're signed in, and then we'll start the event. Okay, we're not going to start and wait and somebody's going to be left behind. So if your players just practice, they come to the tournament lobby, they'll see the message always in the top here. It tells them to sign in, it tells them if there's a token, it tells them if they're ready to go. Everything will be in this space here. Okay, so once the first round pairings are done, actually we can show the first round pairings even for demonstration purposes. So when the pairings are done, in the tournament lobby, you will get a message. I don't know if you can hear the audio, you hear a sound, and this is the player Lucy. It says you have a game against this player, click play now. The player can click the button, the chessboard comes on the screen, and of course everything from here, I don't need to tell you what to do. You make the moves, you play the game. Right? When the game is in progress, if you have any questions or problems, something about the game of chess, you can press the button to call the arbiter. And when you call the arbiter can come and can make a chat message with you. Okay. So if you need something, you can call the arbiter, or you can end the arbiter call, you can continue on with the game. So this button here is the important one. Otherwise, it's just like a normal chess game. You play the game. If there's checkmate, the games automatically feed back through to the tournament lobby, and you'll stay in the tournament lobby on this page for the whole day. So all the games, the results come here. You can watch, you can spectate any of your teammates to see all of the pairings. You can see any of the games. And of course, the arbiters, we can see all of the connections for all of the players. So we can see if somebody is connected, we can see if somebody's disconnected, we can make full control over the tournament. So so now you can see the pairings, but you can't start the games. So arbiters, we have full control. Nobody's going to get left behind. Any problems that you have, you can call the arbiter, you can type a chat message, or you can communicate in Zoom with the arbiter, and we can help you with any problems that you have. So this is how it works. Each round, you click the Play Now button at the top, you play the next game. When all the games are finished, we pair the next round, and we continue after round by round. Okay, and of course, any questions, you call the arbiter. So the only thing we need the players before the event to do is just to make sure that players can sign into the website. So they need to have an email address and a password. We can't help people with their passwords. It's a secure system. So if they forget their password, they must click reset password, and they have to reset their password and sign in again. If they sign in with a different email address from the one that we've been provided, not a problem. You've seen how we can use a token to connect the accounts on the day, or you can email us in advance, help@tornello.com, and email us the name of the player and the email address. We can make a connection in advance, so we're organized before. Any other questions or problems, you can also email, or you can ask the arbiter on the day. We have very experienced arbiters. We can help you. And so if there's a name spelling mistake or company spelling mistake, anything like this, we can fix it very quickly. Okay. Any questions, or Theodoros, anything else you would like me to show?
We have one question. Yes, okay. Will be there in a special chat in order to quickly solve technical problems, or I should use only? Yes, it will be. Ilya, as you see here, all the players through in the tournament, they will have an integrated Zoom link that we will give also to captains necessary. So you all will be connected in the same Zoom, arbiters, players, and organizing committee. So exactly as we are now, we will solve the problems immediately through the chat. So we will use this chat of the Zoom here.
Yeah, I will be present myself during the start of the event, and any problems I can resolve those ones very quickly. So you'll be able to chat directly in the Zoom meeting. The key things for your players, captains, you should just make sure your players, they know the website. Without the website, they can't play. And when they come to the website, they have to sign in. Once they see they're in the tournament lobby for the championships, then from here, it's very easy. They open the Zoom room if there's any, and well, everybody has to open the Zoom room. You have to be in Zoom anyway. But then everything is happening from this side. Chat in the Zoom, playing games, everything is just on the one page. So it's not too confusing.
Okay, about Zoom, what Zoom will do, Tanya will speak later. I want to say only that, first of all, that is also with us Mr. Sarkan Hasimov, who is the tournament director for this event, and also Mr. Thomas Delega, that is the chairman of ECU Arbiter Council. Before I give the floor to Tanya to speak about regulations, and I just want to say also, of course, the arbiter will tell us that it's good tomorrow. I mean, we will open this Zoom 1 hour in advance. And I will say at least half an hour before the players should be there in order to connect them all and to start on time, because we need to follow in the time. Otherwise, it's we can be late. So please tell all your players to come earlier. Between the games, should we turn off the Zoom translation or not? I don't know. I don't see any reason to turn off Zoom translation if this helps you in the chat.
There won't be a huge amount of time between games because the games are quite short. So I think easier just keep the Zoom open the whole time because the game's happening quite quickly.
Yes, the Zoom will be open. Yes, I mean, of course, it will be, as Tanya will explain, it will be short breaks and one bigger break in the half. But okay, I will give the floor to Tanya to speak about these details as chief arbiter.
Thank you, Theodoros. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Can you hear me, everyone? Okay, good evening, everyone. Welcome to the European Online Corporate Chess Championship. My name is Tanya Karali, and together with Ms. Yosina Prokopova, we will be running this event. Our event consists of two formats on 2 separate days, and I would like to go with you briefly through the basic regulations so that we are all on the same page. So on Saturday, there will be the rapid format, which consists of 7 rounds, which will be 10 minutes plus 2 seconds per move for each player. Between the rounds, we will have 5-minute break. And after the 4th round, in the middle of the tournament, there will be a 15-minute break so that you can relax, freshen up, and then continue with the rest of the rounds. On the second day, for the blitz format, there will be 9 rounds in total of 5 minutes plus 2 seconds per move for each player. There will be shorter breaks, 3 minutes per round, and we have scheduled a 15-minute round after the 15-minute break after the 5th round in the middle of the tournament. You can find an approximate estimation of the schedule on chess results if you click on tournament schedule. So please visit this page for more information. Before each round begins, there will be an announcement, both in the Zoom chat as well as an oral announcement, so that you will know, there will be an announcement like 1 minute before, so you will know when to take your places. Games will be played on Tornello platform, but they will be broadcasted both on Tornello, of course, and on Chess24. For the results and the final ranking after both days, you can consult either Chess Results or the ECU website. So just for a few technical matters, as David said before, on Tornello there is called the arbiter button. It is placed below the board, and you can use this button whenever there is an urgent case where you need to contact the arbiters. This might be the case of a 3-fold repetition when you want to make a claim, the case when you need to make a claim for 50 moves made without moving a pawn or capturing a piece, or for any other matters that you consider urgent. We ask you not to misuse this button, because every time that this button is pressed, the game is interrupted until an arbiter visits your game to see what is going on. So we ask not to use it without a serious reason to contact us. Whenever you need to contact us, as Theodore said before, you can use the Zoom chat for anything you need to communicate. We would ask you not to use your microphones. We would prefer that you do not speak to us via the microphones, because then there would be a disturbance for the players and the games that will still be on. So there was a question about what you need to display on Zoom. According to the regulations, we would ask you to both have your web camera on so that we can see you playing, and also to share your screen via the green button in the bottom middle of the screen in Zoom chat in Zoom. The Zoom link will be available on Tornello every day, and we would ask you not to exit the Zoom chat between the rounds. So if during the break you need, for example, you need some privacy, we would advise that you close your microphone, that maybe you cover your camera or you turn off your camera, but it is preferable not to exit the Zoom chat, because then it would take much more time to add people from the waiting room, and we do not want to have delays between the rounds. we would ask you to not have any other communication or electronic devices in the room with you, apart from your desktop or laptop, whatever you prefer to play your games on. Also, you cannot use your mobile or tablet to play your games. You'd need to have access to a computer. That's it from me. If you have any questions, I am at your disposal to answer. I hope we all have a very nice tournament and that you all play very creative games.
Tanya, just to add before we have any other questions, that in the Zoom you need also to write your name, all the players, I mean their name, so the arbiters can, their full name, as it is also in the pairings, so the arbiters can recognize any player. And just to clarify, because okay, there are many also players, as I see, amateurs without even FIDE ID, that when Tanya speak about 5 or 3 minutes breaks, means after the end of the last game of the round. Okay, so practically when we play a 20 minutes game or 25, I mean the first day, one player, if he finished 10 or after 10 or 15 minutes, he will have much bigger break. So the break of 5 minutes is only for those that they play all the time of the round. So just this to say that you will have more time. And there will be also a live streaming in ECU Twitch channel that will be also pinned in Chess24 broadcast. Of course, you can see the games also from Tornello. We will be happy also if somebody of the captains want to share something and during the live stream, if he is not playing or finished, and he can be our guest. What else about the regulations? Do you have any question? Do you need something to clarify, to explain something in Russian, or you can write any question, or you can even take the microphone if you want to ask something. Meanwhile, I want to say that something that we sent you yesterday, you need to know that the results, the final results of each day will be published only in chess results, because the arbiters need to calculate, first of all, the tie-break criteria as they are in the regulations. And secondly, they need to also make and the team standings that for each day are different, and then we add. So it's not necessary that the standings that you will see in Tornello in the night is the same that you will see the chess results, by the meaning of those that they will have same points, because we need to have calculate the tie breaks need to calculate it exactly as the regulations. One question from Lucas. I cannot see the same window of David, but I shall contact him directly. Here, through the chat, first of all, you can write to anybody private. And during the rounds, the arbiters will have, the arbiters also will have their notification that there are arbiters. Everybody will have his position during in the Zoom during the tournament. So you can speak with someone and in the private chat if needed. Players don't allow to use the private chat between them. And something else that we notify in the updated regulations about the pairings. As you know, the players of the same company will not be paired between them. This is one of the systems that we use. And of course, this is a system that is a little bit different than the real Swiss, because you will see pairings. The pairings will be made Tornello. You'll see pairings that sometimes maybe one player has 6 points and needs to play with a player of 5 points, because we have exactly these restrictions that players are not played against their teammates. But there is one possibility someone to play if after the first round, second, third, only if they have 0 points. Okay, this the pairing system allows. Just I want to notify this, and it's logical because if, for example, in the fourth round we have 2 players of the same team with 0 points, it's not fair to play with players where they have 2 points. It's not fair even for the team. So, only possibility is that if players with 0 points, not in the beginning, but after some rounds, has 0 points, it's possible to play teammates between them.
Theodoros, just a moment so that I can add something on this. We will definitely try to avoid this case in any scenario. As Theodoros said, this will be done only if it is the only option. For example, if there are only 2 players left with 0 points from the same company, it is the only case where they will play each other. Otherwise, we will do our best to avoid this situation according to the regulations of the event.
Thank you, Tanya. I had one question before, and if the players can play in the same room. First of all, I mean, it was one of the recommendations, if the players can play in the same room and with even some company logos that we can also transmit it. But in that case, they must have some distance between them. And of course, they cannot contact each other during the games by any way, because the arbiter anytime can open the sound in each for each player. I don't know if someone else want to say something, Petr or Tomek, Sarhan, if you want to say something to this meeting. As far as the appeals committee, this I have to say, as I told you, Petr Piski is the one member, Ion Dobronoteanu is the other member, and most possible the third member it will be Grandmaster Andrian Michalczycin, but this will confirm tomorrow. We hope that we will not have appeals. We have an entertainment event. This is a corporate event. But if we have any, for any reason, they will be examined in the end of the day, because it's not possible to interrupt the rounds during the play, because we play fast control.
Theodoros, there
Yes.
is a question about what time everyone needs to log in tomorrow, since it is mentioned that the opening ceremony is at 3:30.
Okay. First of all, about the microphones, of course, should be turned off during, yes, I mean, the players communicate with the arbiters only through the chat. Okay, all the microphones anyway, the arbiters will mute all the people. I mean, you communicate through the chat, but just I say that if the arbiter wants to open one microphone, we'll do it just to check the situation of the specific player, not to communicate with him. The communication will be through chat, and if we need to communicate and in Russian language in some moment, we will try to do it. But if it's automatic translation and it works, this is okay also. About tomorrow we will have a small opening by the ECU president, Mr. Parasvili, just 10-15 minutes before the start. I mean, in the Zoom call that we will be all together there, and it will be also transmitted live through the ECU Twitch channel. So not 3:30, it will be 3:45, but as Tanya said before and me, we ask the players to be the earliest possible in the game, at least half an hour before, in order to connect to Zoom, to connect with Tornello, and if we have any problem, to have time to resolve it.
I think Alexander Kazatski raised the hand before. I'm not sure if he needs to ask something. Alexander, are you listening?
There is one question. What should be the distance from the players that are playing from the same area? Since we recently made this also with the European youth, that everybody playing from the same area, here, I mean, the most important is that, the players should not have access to the other screen. So, I mean, for me, it should be at least something like 1.5 meters distance, or if they can be from the other side from the other side of the table, also this is not a problem. I mean, if they are from different sides and not next to the other. And I want to emphasize, because also I said we have many amateur players here, that because we have always this problem. I mean, this share screen is not problem. 50, 60 players, if they have share screen, that for the arbiters is not problem, because they can check and they see all the share screens, multiple sharing. So this is something that many times the players forget. It's important. Why? It's important because we don't want during the tournament to be open any other application in the PC during. This is why we make the screen sharing.
Theodoros, I had one question from our players. So the one team captain asked about a different view of the lobby, and I'll just share my screen again and show some team captains. Maybe team captain, if you're a player as well, you may have multiple players on your account. So this one here, I'm controlling Lucy, but I can switch my active player, and I will get a list of all of the different players that I can control. Of course, I'm an arbiter, so I can control all players. When you first come to the tournament lobby doesn't know who you are. Maybe you control multiple players. Maybe you're a parent, you have 2 children, or maybe you're team captain, you have control over all your team. So you just choose your name from the list, and then you'll be registered as that player. And you'll see in the top here, it tells you that's the player name. If you need to change to a different player, you can click this one, click switch active player, and you can switch to being a different player. So you might maybe control many players on one account, but also that's okay, because one player can be controlled by many different accounts. So if you set up your players with their company email address, and then they sign in with their personal email address, we can connect both email addresses to the one profile. Okay, so that's thank you for pointing that one out in case we see something different on the screen share.
Theodoros, there is one question
Yes.
that I would like to answer about the pairings of the first round. So before the first round, only the players who are present at the event will be paired, because some players will be playing on Saturday, some will be playing on Sunday. So the players who are present on Saturday will be paired, so you do not need to worry about okay, if you know for sure that someone is not playing, it's good to inform us. But even if you have a notification at the last moment, who is not present will not be paired. Also, if you have information that someone is facing trouble, like connecting, or would need just 1 or 2 minutes more time, you can also inform us, and we will take it into consideration.
I want to add.
I'll just, can I repeat, sorry, Theodoros, I'll just repeat to the players that we know who is there, because the players put the tick in the box at the top of the tournament lobby page. So when you check the box, that means you're going to be paired in for the tournament. If you don't check the box, then we don't know you're there. You won't get paired. Okay.
But in any case, it's better to be clear on this. If you know that one player will not play at all on Saturday or on Sunday or both days, it's better to inform us, just not to, to look on this player every time. It's better to remove him if he's not going to play at all. So this information, if you have it, just send it by email, even report it tomorrow before the start of the game, just because in the beginning also, we will try to find out why one player is not connected, okay, if there is some technical problem. So it's better if you know that the player is not competing to inform us in advance. Is any other question? Okay, if there is no other question, we can conclude. I want also to say that all the players and the companies will receive certificates of participation and by the end of the tournament. And of course, by the end of the tournament will be announced and all the prize winners. So please just try to be as early as possible tomorrow. So to start at time, it's 4 set tomorrow, and not to be late, because I know that many of you will have a tight schedule. Is there anything else?